All right, let's talk about rules. I know, I roll. You don't want to hear it, right? Because rules are meant to be broken, right? No, not in this case. You're going to break these rules and you're going to be sorry because then your account is going to get shut down and then bye bye ManyChat, bye bye Messenger bots. All right, we don't want that. So, the important thing to note is that bots are different than email. So, although they have similar properties and purposes, they do run by a totally different set of rules. And so, it's important to keep this in mind. Anytime you're working with bots or incorporating them into your marketing strategy, you got to know, you got to play by the rules. So, since April of 2020, ManyChat users are seeing a new broadcasting interface, which is what you see right here on the screen. And that introduces some new features and takes into account the new Facebook Messenger platform policy regarding subscription messaging, standard messaging, and message tags. So I understand that we're not even into any of that yet. You're probably like, what is all this? What does this mean? No stress. Don't worry. I promise you, we will get into it. And you can even read more about it if you want on the official Messenger policy page, which is in or around this page and a button below. All right, before that time, before that update, you were able to select different message types. So whether that's a subscription broadcast or a promotional broadcast or even a follow-up broadcast, which they did away with. But because ManyChat is always making improvements, which I love, and the goal is to make it so easy for the user, being you, being me. They've now just broken it down to these two options for you, for all of us, which is great. So it's broadcasts or paid messages. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Now, broadcasts, I'm not going to deep dive into that just yet because in a lesson, and not so in the future, like right below or in the next section, we're going to talk about the difference between broadcasts and flows and a bunch of other things. So I will get more into that with you then. Um, but for now, it's just important to review the rules and the policies because we don't want you running that risk of your account being flagged or even worse, shut down. We do not want that to happen. So, I think the best way to summarize this for you is it's pretty basic. You can't just send promotional messages at any old time you feel like it, right? You got to play by their rules. And when you play the way the game is set up, you're going to win. All right. So if somebody opts into your bot and your bot's all about, say, daily updates on social media trends, for example, um, if you tell people clearly, hey, I'm going to be messaging you once a day to give you social media updates, then okay, cool. All good. You let them know you were super transparent. And then you can send these subscription broadcasts at any time because you made it really clear, right? If you don't make it really clear, that's no bueno. That's not going to work because Facebook has really cracked down a lot on this and they're going to continue doing so. So now, you want to be safe. You want to keep things super honest, clear, and, let everybody know how often you're going to be sending them updates. If you do that, then you can. But if you try to be sneaky and you don't say it and you're not transparent, then you are going to upset you're going to upset Facebook and possibly get, your bot get reported. And we do not want that to happen. So, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. And what I would like to share with you is I'll tell you what a broadcast is in the most simple terms. Okay. It's a way to deliver content to a list of contacts, and you're going to target them using some filters. It's a way that you can engage your contacts. Again, think of it similarly like an email broadcast, just different set of rules. Okay. So it's a way for you to get to know your audience and segment them with tags and things like that. All right. So what you'll see on this screen is if I click new broadcast right on that button, these are your options. You'll notice that only one of them is free. So for a lot of people just getting started with the platform, you're going to use ManyChat for free, which by the way is still so amazing. You can do so much with the free version. Paid version at the time of this video is only $10 a month. So still super cheap and reasonable. But as you're dipping your toes in and you're getting acquainted with this new platform, you don't need to jump right into the pro version if you're not there yet, if you're not ready for that, and if you don't have a budget for that yet. It's totally okay. All right. So if you want to start a broadcast, you get to choose with Messenger, which is the whole point of this entire course. So there you go. And that's good news because it's in the free version. You also have the options of SMS or text message, you have email message, and then you have multiple channels, which we won't really get into. So if you click Messenger, it is going to get you right where you need to go. Start building your broadcast out. Now, this part is very important, okay? Because again, we're playing by the rules. So, as you're setting up this broadcast, when you click on it to edit it, to start putting your text in there, you're going to notice right at the top content type. This is something you do not want to ignore, okay? If you do ignore it, they're not going to really understand what type of message this is. And ManyChat's not going to know that, and so it's a much quicker way for you to possibly break some of the rules. Again, we want to avoid that from happening. So in the drop down menu, you hit select type, and you're going to see this: other, post purchase update, confirmed event update, and account update. You scroll down and you see these other things as well. Now, just to show you real quick, other is you're going to use this type to mark content that does not fit into any specific type above. So again, if it doesn't fit into one of these three, you will select other. Okay. And post purchase update, it's going to warn you. So it's pretty self-explanatory. And again, I won't like go so much into this because you can read this and kind of figure this out on your own. But it is telling you, hey, misuse of tags can result of suspension of your page, right? We don't want that to happen. So but the purpose of this post-purchase update message is just to notify a user of an update on a recent purchase that they made. Pretty self-explanatory right there. So if there was an update on an invoice or a receipt or a shipment status or anything like that, this is the type of message content type that you would want to select. For confirmed event updates, this is obviously just about they decide to register or sign up. Maybe it was for a webinar, maybe it was for a virtual event or an in-person event, something like that. This is a reminder of that appointment, okay? Confirmation of their attendance or transportation and things like that. And then lastly, the account update, which is just to notify a user of non-recurring change to their application or their account. So if you're not sure, when in doubt, selecting other isn't going to be the worst thing in the world. But this is something, I see too many times people just start typing their messages and then they publish it and that's that, and they leave this blank, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so you want to avoid that. And that is really it for broadcasts. Paid messages we're not going to get into right now because this is all related to ads. So when you get started with paid messages, it's going to allow ManyChat to publish ads on behalf of your page, as it states right here. And so we're not going to get into that right now, but it's very important. When in doubt, read up. It is worth your time. Believe me, I have seen people's accounts get suspended or worse, shut down after all their hard work. And it's just such a shame. So play by the rules and you will be good to go.